What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. It is the 25th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $520 with 7 hours and 43 minutes left in the day. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. Here we are, my friends, pulling back a little bit, right? We're down about 5.2% today. That's okay. I think a lot of the markets pulled back, pulling back a little bit today from a low to where we are now. We're up a good 16% from our lows just a few days ago, so that's nice to see. Overall move 27%. Yeah, you deserve a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a break. It's a blessing, an opportunity to buy Bitcoin Cash every single day below $600. It's a blessing every single day to be able to buy Bitcoin Cash below $1,000. Imagine you were able to buy Bitcoin below $1,000. That's effectively what you have here, right? Like this $87,000 value. That's this here, but at $520 and more. Right? In time, Bitcoin Cash will be worth more than 87K. It'll be worth more than 100K, hundreds of thousands. It'll be worth millions at some point. And you're able to buy it here at 520. Right? Right now, what's crazy is, and I think about the future, man, and who knows if this future will come to fruition, but I think about the future in the sense that 20 years from now, everybody's going to say, man, Bitcoin Cash was such an obvious investment. You literally had a better version of Bitcoin. How did people pass this up? Why didn't people invest in this, right? But right now, it just doesn't seem so obvious, right? It's like we're the crazy crackpots with the tinfoil hat on, saying, hey, we've got the better Bitcoin here. That's not true. There can only be one Bitcoin. Well, that used to be true. There could only be one Bitcoin until you turned Bitcoin into store of value coin. Now that there's store of value coin, there's also peer-to-peer electronic cash coin. They can both exist. And all I'm trying to say is it's going to seem very obvious to people in the future that the hard fork of the OG, right? It's the hard fork. It is the OG. It's a hard fork. So it's just as much Bitcoin as BTC is. This is what people don't understand. They don't take the time to understand. BTC is just as much Bitcoin as Bitcoin Cash is, right? As far as the protocol goes, because they hard forked off each other. But Bitcoin Cash actually adheres more to the white paper. And people are going to think in the future, how were people duped? How did people not see Bitcoin Cash for the opportunity that it was? Whenever it was clearly a hard fork, it's the equivalent to Bitcoin, but it's the better Bitcoin. How did they not? If I was alive back in 2025, I would have bought Bitcoin Cash. That's what all the future generations are going to say. That's where we're at right now. We're at this grand opportunity, life-changing wealth, generational wealth opportunity, buying Bitcoin Cash at $520. Something that will be worth likely millions of dollars within my lifetime, and probably a lot of your lifetimes as well. It seems crazy now. It seemed crazy at one point that Bitcoin would get to $1 million. People thought that they were crazy too. All it takes is time. All it takes is time. And then all of a sudden people will start coming in because they're in it for the tech. They're not in it for the price growth. They didn't get in it here. They got in it up here. But now they're in it for the tech. Right. Anyways, short-term stuff. Let's get into the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out, okay? I don't know why I'm starting off the video with a rant like that. I'm in some type of mood, I guess. 1 hour time frame. The RSI is a little bit bearish here. We've got lower lows and lower highs, and you just saw quite the plummet over the past couple of hours, and that's okay. Finding support here at prior areas of resistance and support. That's all right. Let's look at the low to high here. From this low to this high, you've gone right to your 382. Now, conventionally, you'd like to bounce right off your 382. Grinding it does not normally bode well. It can, but I think it's okay at this point to anticipate lower prices, maybe at the 0.5 or even the golden ratio, especially with the way the RSI, the stochastics, and the MACD look in culmination. They're all bearish. So we are dying off in volume, to be fair. Volume is dying off as we're moving down, so that's kind of nice to see. Maybe we get some weird kind of reversal here at the 382, maybe. Maybe it's like a BART pattern, I don't know. But typically you would expect lower prices, so $503 to $480 is something that we should be very accepting of, okay? If Bitcoin Cash goes below $500, what do? You hit the buy button. You don't hit the panic sell button, okay? In fact, get rid of your panic sell button. If you have a panic sell button on your Bitcoin Cash desk, throw it in the trash. You should only have panic buy buttons. And anything below $500 is in a inducible accredited panic buy moment, okay? You should be panic buying, selling your house, selling your mom's house, and your dad's house, and your car, and your kid's college fund, and putting it all into Bitcoin Cash. And then while they try to come at you for taking their money, you can afford better lawyers. And it's all, no, that's a joke. No, but seriously, this is a really good opportunity buying Bitcoin Cash, even here at $522, let alone at $503 to $590, $580, or sorry, $490, $480. Those are prime areas to buy. I would very much expect that we do go lower. I don't think that we're going to hold the 382 as support, but if we do, we know that I'm wrong, and this will validate that I'm wrong right here, is if we get 1 hour time frames, or I'd like to see a 4 hour time frame closing above the red line here. If we can close above $536 on a 4 hour time frame or higher, I'd be convinced that this is the low and that we are moving up higher. If we, and don't get confused now, if we move up to, let's say, 540, we're above the red line, but we come back down and close below it, that makes me still think that we have lower to go. So don't get caught up, don't get excited. It's we're making some Thanksgiving food here, so if you guys hear any food, that's just my wife processing food in the kitchen. That's just part. It's we got a lot of stuff to do today, so it's just going to be a part of it. $523 right here. Even if you move up to 536 or higher, if you wick above it and then close below, that doesn't count. You have to close above this line. And at that point, if we close above here, then I'm wrong. We're not moving lower. Boo-hoo to anybody who wanted to buy at $500 or lower. We're likely going to move up to 536 and beyond, and then potentially continue moving higher. But looking at the 1 hour time frame and looking at the fibs, I feel confident that we go lower. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, maybe a little bit less confident, because where are we? Where are we grinding for support here? We're grinding for support right at prior resistance. I mean, we could find support right here. I would think if we did find support, we just kind of move off, right? Like here, we found resistance at prior support. We didn't grind. We just moved down, right? Here, whenever we found resistance, we just moved down. Here, same thing. Here, we kind of grinded there, but then we moved down. Typically, we would just move down, right? Like here, if we were to find support, typically we would just find support. We wouldn't grind this area like we are right now. 4 hour time frame here makes me think that we go lower. RSI, bouncing off the 40 is nice. We still have 3 hours, 36 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame though. If it closes green, we bounce off the 40. That could provide a little bit of a move up. And again, at which case maybe we do move up to this 540, 535 level, find resistance, and then move down. Again, don't get excited just because we move up here. It's actually very common. It is, let me say it again, very, very common to find resistance at your 236 before moving lower, to find support at your 382, resistance at your 236 before moving lower. So if we don't close above 536, that's how you know we're probably going to move down, okay? If we wick and then we close below, that's how you know we're probably going to move down. And I would say on a 4 hour basis, okay? Stochastics are bearish. The MACD is kind of bullish, actually. To be completely fair, the MACD is actually kind of bullish. We could come down a little bit more. And what are we talking about here? 520. I mean, maybe we see some wicks and then we close up. Maybe the MACD is just throwing me off and I shouldn't worry about it. We're choppy and we're sideways. Maybe it's not telling the truth, right? The last time we crossed above the zero, what did we do? We came down. This time we're crossing above the zero and maybe we come down. We crossed above the zero here. We did move up more. I don't know. But we didn't have a big move down like this, right, in the process of that. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of the MACD. All I would say is that the MACD does look bullish right now. We can afford to move down a little bit and still maintain that bullish reading if we move up in a short amount of time. But all in all, I still feel confident that we move lower. Again, unless we get a 4 hour time frame to close above 540. As soon as, if I'm not making a video and you're wondering, oh my God, we just closed a 4 hour time frame at 445 or 545, sorry, above $536. It just happened. C-Zar hasn't made a video. Does this mean that he was wrong? Yes, it means that I was wrong. Yes, it means that we're moving up higher right now, probably. And when we do move higher, by the way, because all in all, where we are here is we're in this consolidation phase we've been in since March of 2024. You had a harsh rejection here, harsh rejection here. Here it's a little bit less harsh. Here, this consolidation is setting us up for a breakout of this range overall, which is also setting us up for a breakout of this range overall as well. Like we're just breaking out. So big things are coming. Regardless of what we do in the short term, we will be moving higher. And when we move higher, the targets that we're considering from a high to a low, I'm going to take this low, not the fake out low, would be anywhere from, at a minimum, about $1,000, $936 to $1,300. That's our primary target zone. When you get above $1,300, the next target area is about $1,700 to $3,400. And it's quite possible that we do see a money zone being hit, that the money zone, which is the 2886 to 3113 right here, at about $4,400 to $5,500, something like that. That's the cherry on top, right? Here's your hot fudge sundae. I don't know how to draw a hot fudge sundae. Whatever. Maybe like a cup That's it looks more like a face. Like here's the hairline. I don't know. And then there's your crown jewel. It's a crown. It's a princess, and your crown jewel is at the top. Anyways, of course it's a princess. Can't you see how beautiful it is? Zero. We're likely going to go somewhere between, I would think, at a minimum with this move. When we do break out, at a minimum, we'll see $2,500 to potentially at a maximum $5,600, somewhere in that range, likely by the end of 2025. And you're worth $521 right now, with the prospects of even going below $500. So that's what I'm calling for. I expect that we move down to around 503 to 480, somewhere around there, bounce, recover, and then going into the end of this month, we should have some higher prices. Going into the end of the year, we should be breaking out in full, worth prices that are worth more than multiple thousands of dollars. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Shout out to the Dragon Riders one last time. Bye-bye.